Hi people, Moino from back here again as always. I am briefly going to discuss, as you can tell from the header as always from this video or of this video, that why I'm going to discuss why medical supplements, if you will, or just overall medicine or medication as a whole, or medicinal drugs has a positive effect on you, especially in cases where you have a disease that's of a spiritual nature, basically a mental illness, a mental affliction, if you will, anything from psychosis to neurosis, anything you can think of that makes it so that you have difficulty coping with in society, and in the worst case scenario need to be institutionalized in like a psych ward or something, in a mental facility or a mental clinic. So, because some people might be wondering, they think to themselves, obviously these people are not knowledgeable on the occult, but yeah, this video is for people like that especially don't know anything about this subject. Because if you're the average person, you might wonder, hey, why, if I have a disease, for example, or if someone is mentally ill, how come, and the disease is of a spiritual nature, how come a material medicine, so medicine which is of a material nature, something physical, actually helps the person spiritually, provided that the medication has effect. This as a whole might make people think that especially these kinds of people, that that spirituality and any kind of spiritual remedy is hooey and nonsense and baloney and all of that. No, that's obviously that's obviously nonsense. But yeah, this video is for these people, to enlighten them, literally and figuratively speaking. And yeah, here it comes. Medication as a whole also has an effect on you spiritually if you especially have a mental illness, for example. Let's just say you have some kind of mental illness and you take medicine for it. You go to a psychologist, you name it, they put you on medication, and it does actually have an effect. It has an effect because anything you ingest physically also has energy attached to it. Everything in the world, and that includes inanimate objects, so yeah, even boulders, everything you can think of, even sand, mind you, has energy attached to it, astral energy, spiritual energy. So when you take medication, it's not necessarily specifically about the chemical components, so the material attributes of said medication. Of course, science is going to flaunt that and going to say blah, 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 blah. They're going to come up with their own version. But the fact of the matter is, as in terms of why it helps you or why it helped you, but the fact of the matter is, plain and simple, is that this medication has energy behind it. Okay, the whole intent of this medication is to heal you, as in literally heal a specific thing. The same way that everything is intent based in general. If I do something, I have an intention behind it, and my intent is clear in general. Whereas, in that same vein, if, for example, a pharmaceutical company creates antibiotics, what's the intent behind antibiotics in general? Exactly, to get rid of infections, to stave off and or get rid of infections as a whole. Anything you can think of. If you have any infection or you've had an infection in your life at any given point, if you go to a clinic or a drugstore, or you go to a doctor for a prescription, what's the first thing that he's going to tell you? Antibiotics. Yeah, exactly, antibiotics, to literally undermine and get rid of the infection. That's the intent. That's the sole purpose. Okay, equal intent. Purpose equals intent in this context. That's why it was created. And then and that's why when you, for example, take it, it has an effect in general. It has an effect on you spiritually because the energy, its intent is to heal. And as long as you take enough of it, okay, and the quality of it is good, then yeah, it's going to heal your infection. It all depends on a bunch of factors involved, like the ones I just mentioned, including how severe your infection is. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. But my point is, that's why drugs help overall, okay? That's the gist of it. That's why drugs helps as a whole, in general, the world's population en masse. You take something, okay, aside from taking the material, you're obviously also taking the spiritual energy attached to it. And the intent is to heal, and you're going to get healed from your affliction. Why do medicines not work in some cases? Because the intent behind it is either not enough, or the intent does not align with your illness. So it goes without saying that if we focus specifically as a society on on healing through the spiritual or the astral, you would heal a lot quicker. Okay. For example, if I specialized in healing, right, and I, for example, wanted to heal someone from a disease, just an example, if I specialized in it, as in I devoted like an entire lifetime as an occultist to it, I would be able to heal someone easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay, from any kind of heavy duty infection, even the gruesomest of diseases, cancer, you name it. I would be able to do so a lot, and I repeat, a lot faster, at least like 10 times faster than any kind of material drug can. Like I said, emphasis laid here on the spiritual. It's not about the material. It's not about that at all. It's purely about the spiritual energy attached to anything that you ingest or get injected with, or just overall get treatment for any illness. So yeah, that's essentially the gist of it. Bye bye.